Drop your 8th anniversary part 3 predictions down below. I'll potentially use it for an upcoming video, and you're watching the video right now. If you want to get involved next time, whenever next time is, be sure to follow me on Twitter, Zakashi with 3 eyes. We've got some predictions from you guys, and I'm sure some of them are going to be wild. We'll break them down, agree, disagree, neutral. That's my personal opinions, but you guys can leave yours in the comment section below. Let's get into this. Right, so we're starting here with Ricochet GFX. You guys know the boy. It feels early for an Ultra, but I don't know what they're waiting for when the Super Saiyan 3 to Super Saiyan 4 transformation sequence was the most hyped moment in Daima, and it's still not added in the game. It would also be the perfect follow-up to GT Super Saiyan 4 Goku as the festival headliner. This is interesting. I would only see it as a perfect follow-up if like he actually somehow can be synced with the Super Saiyan 4 Goku, which is just not going to be the case because he's a Daima unit. The Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Goku from the festival literally is locked into GT, but just as a general follow-up, double Super Saiyan 4, I'm not gonna lie, that's not ridiculous. Have we had that before? I think when they released Ultra Gogeta Blue in the festival 2022, it was then the 2023 year, and we went into the 5th anniversary, we got Ultra Vegeta Blue. Also, I think when we got Ultra Super Gogeta in 2021, leading into that in the anniversary, it was the 4th anniversary if I'm not mistaken, and we got Ultra Super Vegeta. So this is not actually a bad shout considering that we just got Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Goku in the 2025 festival, and we can follow that through to a Super Saiyan 4 Goku Daima. This is very agreeable. I also just noticed that a lot of these are going to be very like similar opinions because most people have the same things, but I'm going to try to pick out a lot of different ones. So I'm actually going to scrap the whole agreeable, disagreeable, neutral thing. I feel like most of them will be agreeable. It will be very apparent if I disagree, honestly. So yeah, but I like this one. I actually like this one. Actually thinking about it and processing, breaking it down, this makes so much sense. Got one here from my boy LAC. He says cheeky part 3 prediction. I gotta press in. So it says it would be hella funny if ultra superhero MUI Goku and legend ultra supervillain Fu are the part 3 units, since both part 3 and Xenoverse 2 DLC drop on the 8th. That is a thing. We even got the trailer here where they tell us the final saga, the final chapter, the final DLC for Xenoverse 2. I've even watched this, yeah, but like this is a thing. This is actually a thing, and we just got the Xenoverse 2 rose and whatnot before the celebration, before the 8th anniversary. So if they loop back around and give us MUI Goku, which they just shown from the final DLC in this trailer, that would actually be quite insane, and it would be very unpredictable. He's showing us this title as well, LAC. It's got the colors for what's being shown in the Xenoverse 2 final DLC, so it's actually not ridiculous actually. This one's an interesting one. Fu, I don't know how he will push, but you know, they dropped Shallot, so I think anything can run, to be honest. I'm not against it. MUI Goku could probably shoulder the whole celebration by himself, and then just adding something that we haven't seen before, people will be interested in. But yeah, that's not a bad prediction, honestly. Like, it's not a bad prediction. On the same day, we gotta take a look at that one. We're gonna have a look. We got one here from Gulax, and he's going for the Jiren MUI Goku. Very overstimulating animation here, but still fire nonetheless. This would actually go crazy. I think this is, whoa, that universe animation is crazy. Props to you. But yeah, this would actually go crazy. I know a lot of people don't want MUI Goku for obvious reasons. The obvious reason being that they don't want to fight passive players that are just gonna float at the back of the map. Shock that players want to win the game, so they play like rats. But Jiren, I think he would spice up the celebration, especially if he has something that can just counter Ultra Instinct Goku, you know, to a degree, because he was going toe to toe with him, especially in full power. Obviously MUI Goku overpowered him, but for the most part, you know, Jiren was that. So I think if Jiren has something like, for the first 10 timer counts that he entered the battlefield, he can always just avoid the gauge. It will at least balance out the meta to the point where you kind of have to use Jiren if you want to avoid MUI Goku, but everybody else has to deal with MUI Goku because he's MUI Goku. That's the only way I could see Jiren being something spicy to actually go against MUI Goku, and then they can balance out the idea of, alright, cool, this is a hype thing and we like it, but then playing it is not going to be insufferable because of how people play when Ultra Instinct is meta unit. So yeah, that's just my thoughts, but yeah, lots of people are ready for this. I am going to be hype if it's this, but I hope that they do something to kind of counter the Ultra Instinct Goku style. It's still going to be effective in PvP, but I don't want it to be like just the absolute ceiling of the game. Got one one here from Elixir, Fizzy SOA, Legend fusing Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta with original animations that are almost Dokkan quality. I don't know how they're gonna pull that off. And a Ultra Buu Saga Spirit Bomb Goku with a standby gauge or something with Vegeta for 60 timer counts with permanent revival nullification. No image for the Buu Saga unit? Alright, cool. Let's start with this first one, right? So that are almost Dokkan quality, the animations, right? I just don't see that being possible. The way Dokkan are able to get that animation is just like how an anime is able to get that animation. We've seen it in the Broly movie, we see it in Jujutsu Kaisen, we see it in Solo Leveling, right? You gotta kind of like lower the shades and the models. With Legends' animations, it's 3D sculpted figures. So to get them animated like that, I don't know what they're gonna do to try and pull that out of the bag. They're gonna have to summon heaven and hell to get that to work in Dragon Ball Legends, because damn, the closest we've got to like stretching those bounds is probably Super Saiyan 4 Goku from Daima, where they show like it's like the Goku face when he zooms into the eye. That's like a factor of it, and extra gimmicks that we've seen in animations. An example would be Legends Limited fusing Super Vegito, the smoke and the lightning that appears. If they pull that out really fast, maybe it can reach the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta Dokkan animations, or even Beast Gohan we saw recently, or even the UI Goku and the GT boys. Those guys have all same tier of animation where it's like an anime. In regards to the Ultra Buu Saga Spirit Bomb Goku, right? Standby gauge, please no. No prep time, no nothing. I don't want that. Nobody wants that in reality. When it comes to actual gameplay, it's buns. They nerf it because it has high potential to be insane, but in most cases it's buns. If they execute it and it's good, fine, but to drop it, I'll immediately be pessimistic about it. Not even being pessimistic, it's more realistic based on the results of what we've had in the game so far. So it's not ridiculous for me to be upset if they have that, and I think a lot of people would be upset if they have that, because then you start thinking immediately, oh, they're not going to be that great in PvP. But they could pull it off, to be honest. I think it would be cool, it would look good. The permanent revival nullification is great as well, because obviously Goku does the Spirit Bomb, but I think it would also somewhat should be conditional to who he's doing it against. So for example, Spirit Bombs only work for people that are not good, you know, pure of heart. So I imagine if it was to against someone like Gohan, would it really nullify his revival? I guess they could just let it, but hey, I'm not fussed either way, you know. I'll take it. I will take it. If it permanently nullifies revival, no matter what, I will take it, because the hybrid Saiyans will have to deal with an extra layer of offenses from the newest unit in the game, and that slows them down. So that's good. That is definitely good. We got one here from Pepsi Man 6382. Has to be mini Super Saiyan 4 Goku. He's way overdue. Now looking at this, right, I don't think it's ridiculous, but something I've seen, I want to talk about these titles, right? People are naturally attaching this title to the Universe Survival Saga, where we're gonna get MUI Goku being the blue and Jiren being the red. But honestly, this is the first time I've seen someone attach it to Daima, and I think having it be Daima is not ridiculous. It'd also be kind of unpredictable, because I'll be so real, if your first thought when you look at this is Daima, that's crazy to me. That is actually insane, but it's not ridiculous with the way that you're piecing it together. Would people be especially happy about it? I think it always depends on the execution. If the animations are so outrageous that people can't help themselves but be like, yeah, this is a banger, then it's fine. But then even if they even slightly be lazy with it, it's over. It's so over. I think for Daima to end out this celebration, especially starting with the Broly movie, I would be very, very skeptical. But yeah, I haven't seen anybody attach this to Daima, even though it's very feasible since you're showing it to me now and I'm seeing all of this and whatnot. Most people just attached it to the Universe Survival Saga Tournament Power. So yeah, would I say he's way overdue? I mean, with the amount of releases we've had, I wouldn't say he's way overdue either though. I would say he is maybe overdue, especially since we're going to be going into Dragon Ball Super Beerus, and we're also going to get the Mora arc. So we're kind of running down time on when we should be getting a Super Saiyan 4 Goku mini, since we do have the adult versions. But maybe they should wait a bit more, because if they drop those, then we've got everything already and Diamond's just out the window. So hey, it could go either way. You can have either opinion, but yeah, I do think he should be coming at least this year. Doesn't have to be now though for the the part 3 of this celebration. Got one here from Luna. It could either be a double ultra like the 7th anniversary part 3 with Ultra Jiren and UI Goku, who knows, but what I'm leaning towards the most is an Ultra Super Saiyan 3 Goku with an active gauge, maybe Spirit Bomb. I would like any. Now in regards to double ultra, I don't think they would do another double ultra because they don't want to just mimic what they done last year, and it was a thing where they emphasized it's not something they're going to be doing consistently. So to just go 2 celebrations, yeah, the festival we pass and then we go into another anniversary and do the exact same thing double ultra, that's crazy in my opinion. I don't think they do that. Secondly, in this celebration alone, they started it with an ultra, so that pushes kind of the idea that we won't be getting double ultra, because that would be 3 ultras in what, like 2 months? That's mad. That's actually insane. 3 ultras in 2 months? Yeah, that's too far. And then thirdly, the part 1 template was an ultra and an LR, so if we're gonna get 2 ultras in this celebration at all, it wouldn't be another 2 in part 3 is what I think is more logical. We'd probably just get 1 LR and an ultra to match the part 1, but then we're still getting 2 ultras just in a different format and it's more spaced out. Regardless, right, Jiren UI Goku, it's not a ridiculous option. Everybody's been speaking about it, and at this part, but I'm leaning towards the most is the Ultra Super Saiyan 3 Goku with active gauge. Now, how would I feel about Super Saiyan 3 Goku with active gauge? I speak about Super Saiyan 3 Goku a lot, especially in the past years, but it seems like they've kind of fixed up since they dropped the Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3 Legends Limited Goku in the what? It was the 2024 festival, if I'm not mistaken, right? They made him good. They don't usually make Super Saiyan 3 Gokus especially good long term. They did at the start, but the template idea is Super Saiyan 3 Goku is a high power transformation that drains a lot of energy. We know this. So when they put it into Legend, it doesn't convert well, because when you have a unit that starts off high damaging and is getting weaker and weaker because it's high draining, the unit is gonna fall off and power creep is gonna clip them. But if they just add some things to add an extra layer of longevity, or just so they can survive, like the Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3 Goku had, he had long combos, literally unstoppable combos, and he transforms, right, to extend his combo. That made him insane. And back in the day, they just had the Legends Limited Super Saiyan 3 Goku be one of the most tanky units ever, especially when he got his Zenkai. He also has that mechanic with his green card, so mechanically he's superior, and he can do insane damage with his ultimate arts, you know, that keeps him in the running. But all the other Super Saiyan 3s that we got, they're really just make sure you utilize them early or they're done. With the exception of Dragon Fist, he can just hit our ultimate at the end, but his combo potential and everything like that is just lesser once you waste those first 2. So yeah, I hope if they do drop a Super Saiyan 3 Goku, if he has an active gauge, it's gotta be something crazy, and he'd probably only have 1, so once you activate it, it's done because it's a Spirit Bomb. Maybe after he uses his active gauge, he de-transforms. That could be an aspect of it, so at least they make his Super Saiyan 3 form absolutely cracked, but his active gauge, once it pops, he de-transforms, or at least just stays in Super Saiyan or something, so then, you know, it plays out just like the anime. But yeah, I kind of went on a rant there, but you guys get what I'm saying. Got one here from Coco Mints. Am I crazy for this? Yes. You're not, bro. You're not crazy for this. But unpredictable DBL 8. But realistically, we getting an Ultra Super Saiyan 3 Goku and LR Margin Vegeta. Yay, back to Majin Buu Saga PTSD. I don't think that's ultra realistic. In fact, I don't think anything is realistic when they're doing this unpredictable thing. Part 2 has shown me that never be too sure of yourself. Don't be arrogant. Arrogant can only be labeled confidence once you've proved them wrong. And if you don't prove them wrong, you're just arrogant. It just is what it is. That's how it works. So in this case, I don't think you're crazy, but I don't think this is necessarily realistic. It just seems more within the bounds, and it would be cool. But we don't even know if they're dropping 2 units in the first place. So to say this is more realistic, I don't know. It's just a reach. We did just get Xenoverse characters, so I presume we wouldn't get more Xenoverse characters. But it's also not an impossible thing if they want to spice up the celebration in some way. Like an MUI Goku and a Jiren just from Tournament Power is kind of expected. But if they just take it one step further and take the Xenoverse 2 variants while we're also getting the final DLC on the same day as the part 3, the way it aligns, chef's kiss, this would be amazing. And I think a lot of people would be moved by it. So yeah, I don't think you're crazy for this, bro. Any prediction at this point is gonna have some sort of valid aspects to it. That's what I'll say. So yeah, nice prediction here. I'm very happy you left this here with the images as well. I love it when I do predictions because guys like Yuto, shout out Yuto, they should be dropping anything. Been a while since we got Cooler Movie Goku. Now, brother, like, you know, we're trying to predict the Part 3 Ultra here, the 8th anniversary. By the way, they started with the Broly movie. We started Part 1 with Ultra Gogeta Blue and a Broly that transforms twice. And we're thinking about ending the celebration with an absolute banger. And then you bring out Cooler Movie Goku and Cooler. It's not even the final form. Like, are we serious here? Are we? No, bro. You know, hey, if this drops, you deserve the world. You know, I'm not gonna say anything else. If this drops, you can have heaven and earth in full capacity because you know something that we don't know clearly. But I'm not gonna speak too much more on this. I'm not even gonna say anything else. You got it, bro. You got it, bro. Got one here from Shadow. Legend Synchro Gauge Gogeta who can change his colors by gauge. He has active gauge, Big Bang Kamehameha that nullifies every second life. Ultra Shenron has active gauge, but it's passive. By using his active gauge, he creates a domain. In this domain, every second life mechanic doesn't work. Okay. I'm liking the creativity here, but let's really break it down. So we're gonna get a G4, right? But it's a legend character, so we're not getting a 2.0 of the Ultra. He can change his colors by gauge. If he gets to choose, that's crazy. So let's just say he's blue. He can change to green. He can change to purple. Can he change to yellow? Is it all 5, 1 or 2? Regardless, it's a pretty cool idea. It's a singular unit that can have more than one element. Similar to like Chalet, but it's not the BS light, which is just type neutral in a lot of cases. It's actually a different element completely. And active gauge Big Bang Kamehameha that nullifies every second life. That's makes pretty much a lot of sense, I'm not gonna lie. And Ultra Shenron has active gauge, but it's passive, and by using his active gauge, he creates a domain. In this domain, every second life mechanic doesn't work. I think that's pretty fair. You just open up a space in a way where while that active gauge is active, you know, I wonder if that would work if he's not on the battlefield. You know, if the domain's up, can I switch him out and the domain is still up? Or is it only while he's in the battlefield, meaning that he's the only person that can just ignore every single second life? So if you take somebody out while the domain's up, that could work. I think what would be nice about it is that if the active gauge goes, like if it activates, right, and the domain is on right now, he should have like a no switching that activates as well, or timer count up, so you can actually take somebody out who has a second life. It shouldn't be a lot. It should be like 2 timer counts, 3 timer counts max, and not no switching, timer counts up, so you can actually just like deal with it with whoever's in front of you, strikes and blast. I think that's pretty reasonable within. Gogeta is maybe looking crazy though, depending on what else they do to him, if they were going to drop him like this. But I don't think this is ridiculous. I'm just layering in some thoughts if I was to see it in actual Dragon Ball Legends to make it make sense. But yeah, I like this one actually. I like this one. Both of them actually. First premium Omega Shenron Ultra before a bunch of people get their Ultra. Like, who hasn't got their Ultra yet? But Omega Shenron gets a premium one before them. Let me think. Bojack, Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Who else am I missing? There's gotta be someone. Trunks, like as in the Z Trunks, Super Vegeta. There's a lot of guys that just haven't got an Ultra yet. It's actually interesting now that I'm thinking about it. But yeah, I think Omega Shenron would be actually nicer than a lot of people would give credit to. Got one here from Blue Jita. Since both part 1 and 2 had Fusion Warrior, and if we look at the last 7th Annie pattern, we might just have another fusion. Reason: Gogeta and Chalet's buff may be UVB Plat. My prediction: Ultra Vegito Blue 2 versus LR Zamasu, or LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta Synchro, some new gimmick versus Ultra Omega Shenron 2. Okay, something I haven't seen this whole prediction thing yet, and people are kind of just like letting it blow by. We haven't got any Vegito mentions in this celebration. That's not real. Vegito, you've shown up in every single celebration. I have to do this every single time I talk about this. Super Vegito first Annie, Vegito Blue second Annie, Vegito Blue third Annie as a Sparking, Ultra Super Vegito fourth Annie, Ultra Vegito Blue 5th Annie, 6th Annie we got Fusing Super Vegito, 7th Annie they basically made Ultra Super Vegito free, giving him a platinum equipment, once you summon on the Ultra Super Vegito banner on the final step, you get him for free. That's insane to him, just to force him in there. So how are they going to incorporate Vegito here? We're gonna get Ultra Vegito Blue 2? I don't know. If they make it Fusion Zamasu as the Ultra, you know, they could just do an LR Vegito Blue. I think they'd probably want to pull out Ultra Vegito Blue 2, more likely. And I mentioned that before in a different video, I'm pretty sure, just as an idea. I'm not saying they should do that, but hey, I feel like it's a ritual at this point. It's a guarantee. Vegito should show up in this celebration, just based on him showing up in every other celebration. And if they went the Gogeta way, 2 Gogetas in one celebration, it wouldn't be a first. I'll tell you that. It wouldn't be a first. So yeah, I do also feel like Fusion Warriors, they didn't get a third. You know, if we're looking at the part 1, we got Gogeta, and the part 2, we got Shallot. So we have 2 Fusion Warriors in the celebration. And besides from that, people are using LR Super Vegito. Fine, like as a third, that makes sense, but he's not ranged, so the team is kind of like weird, you know what I'm saying? They don't have that strong third Fusion Warrior, but I feel like every other team has something. Like powerful opponent, they got a lot of buffs in general. They got Broly, they have the Xenoverse 2 Rose, they got the Plats for Broly and Goku Black, so they got a lot of buffs to support themselves. Hybrid Saiyans, they had Ultra Sword of Hope Trunks prior, Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, they put him on a featured boost. Gohan and Trunks, they got 3, you know, they got 3 things. God Key, Gogeta Blue, Goku Black, Shallot. Like everybody's getting at least 3 things to make a core, but you know, Fusion Warriors didn't get 3 new things or a boost to a third thing. It's just 2 things, and then the third thing that we're using is something that released prior, and it's just surviving. So you know, it depends on how you want to look at it. I could easily see us getting a Fusion Warrior, but I'm not saying we should. I'm just saying it's very likely, because it wouldn't be the first time if it's 2 Gogetas. Never mind if it's 3 Fusion Warriors, you know, that wouldn't be a first either. I seen this one and it was a bit too interesting to not include. Amine, I hope I said that correctly. I'm pretty sure I did though. Legend Jiren, an Ultra Game Original Vegito Blue who fights against Jiren instead of MUI. So the natural presumption, naturally, you know, it should be MUI Goku versus Jiren if they're gonna do some type of universe rep setup for the final part of the celebration, right? But in this case, he's suggesting that they do a Game Originals Vegito Blue who fights against Jiren instead of MUI. Now these guys did use the Pt.3 in the future arc, which is literally the arc before that, right? So if they bring it back, it's kind of like, it doesn't make sense, first of all, because the Pt.3, they're too strong for it, and they're even going to be stronger now. But secondly, it could just be an idea. I think something that would be cool if they ran this is that this Vegito, he wouldn't transform. He would be an Ultra Vegito, right? But he wouldn't be blue, he wouldn't go Super Saiyan. He would stay base. He can't go blue, otherwise he's going to defuse. And it's not like they had a lot of time in the tournament power anyways. But I think what would be interesting about this, if they make the Game Originals right, they could give you the choice of going blue, but then you get a time transformation based on you being blue. So you could fight in like base, right? And as you're fighting in base, you'll have the fusion for the full time of the remainder of the battle, because that's just Vegito. But if you choose to go blue, at a certain point, you will defuse and you can like only use Goku or something, or you could only use Vegeta, or they could be a tag unit, but I think that's overkill. You know, I'm just throwing out stuff. In that sense, they could bring back the timer, but the difference between base and blue should be huge. You should get like an additional uncancelable 80% damage inflicted, but then you only get like 30 timer counts after you go blue. But then if you just didn't go blue, you'd be in Vegito for the whole game. That could be interesting. Do I think they're gonna do another Game Originals after all that stupid, I say stupid, but it's not that stupid to be honest, but after that, what do I call it, creativity? No, we just got two Game Originals. Do you think we're gonna get another? No. But Jiren, you can show up, but it would be a good mix-up. I just don't think it's gonna happen, you know. I don't think they're gonna hit us with a mix-up, man. They're not doing that. They're not doing all that, to be honest. All right, this is the final one, and I've chose this one as the final one because I wanted to show an image that I really like. We got this one from Mythics, Ultra Spirit Bomb Goku and Legend Fusing Gotenks. Now I'm actually a big fan of Gotenks. I want to show you guys this picture. Hold on, I hope it opens up on the screen. Yeah, I saw this picture one time on Google, right? And it's literally, if they fixed the fusion, if they got the fusion right in the superhero movie, this is what it would look like. And honestly, these guys would be super strong, because as you saw with Gotenks in the Buu saga, Gotenks was that, and we all saw it. But now they're a bit more grown up and they got the perfect fusion. This guy can probably go Super Saiyan 3 too. Potential maxing, basically, these kids, man. But anyways, Legend Fusing Gotenks, I don't think it would be super hype, but because we're getting Ultra Spirit Bomb Goku, it's fine. And we also get the third fusion warrior here for Gogeta Blue and Shalette. And Gotenks in general, out of all of the fusions, is one of the most ranged attacking characters in the whole franchise. Like, they literally fight like Vegeta, just dashing ki blast and ranged things, Ghost Kamikaze attack, the donuts, whatever it is, man. They love fighting from a distance is what I'm gonna say. So yeah, I think they would be the final piece for fusion warriors, and it could actually be pretty good. Legend rarity, and then obviously this just makes sense for the Ultra. It's been long overdue, and a lot of people are expecting this sooner or later, so I think it just makes a lot of sense, and a lot of people are expecting that too. So yeah, I guess we'll just leave it like that for this video. But yeah, man, that's going to be the end of the video. Let me know which prediction was the most insane to you, or leave your own prediction down below in the comments. I will try to post my own prediction tomorrow, but it depends on what Legends does with the chance time thingy, because they're gonna drop some information about the Legends information for part 3, and honestly, if it's a ridiculous hint that's just super unpredictable, I'm gonna throw in the towel. But it should be easier because it's looking to be just one unit, but even if it's 2, it's not part 2, so should be good, man. But hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. If you haven't already, make sure to press the subscribe button. We're on this grind to 200,000 subscribers. I appreciate you guys for watching, man. My name is Zakashi, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one, man.